Oh my gosh, this book is coming out on Wednesday. That's crazy. Hello everybody, it is Celeste Joan and welcome to the first day of release week for my debut novel, a YA contemporary novel, All the Way Strong. This book is coming out on Wednesday. I am very excited. I still have some copies that you guys can order for signed copies. I haven't gotten them in the mail just quite yet, but they will be coming soon, and as soon as I get them, I will be signing them and packaging them all together and sending them out to you guys. You can also still pre-order the ebook of this book down below in the description. And little inside note, if you guys are international, not in the US, sadly you will not be able to get a signed copy just because of shipping, but the paperbacks are live on Amazon early. So as of right now, you should be able to go order a paperback on Amazon. I was talking with Anne and she is unable to go to the German Amazon and order a paperback, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna work on figuring that out, but you should be able to order them, hopefully. I don't know why some sites are working and some sites aren't, but this book is coming out this week. So to kick off the release week of my debut novel that I am self-publishing, I want to talk about why I am self-publishing, what got me here to this point, all of that stuff, everything that led up to like this moment, why I'm doing this instead of querying my book or doing all of these other things. So let's talk about it. So I guess to start off this video, I want to go back to like when I very first wrote the first draft of this book. It was July, Camp Nano July of 2013. It was the first camp I had participated in, first Nano event I had participated in, and I wrote 50,000 words, the first draft of this book. It was not originally called All the Way Strong. It was originally called The Start of Everything New. That was the title. And I wrote the first draft of it in July. In 1 month, I had written 50,000 words. Crazy. As like a 14-year-old, I did that. And when I had one camp that year, I saw the winner's goodies page, and one of the things was uploading your manuscript for free, and I believe it was to Ingram Spark. I honestly don't remember what company it was, but there was some place you could like upload your book for free and get it printed, and I was like, that is so cool. Like, I could have my book printed. And I had thought about, you know, formatting the book and printing it out and getting like a physical copy, because I had like a mock-up cover that I made, which no longer fits the book, kind of. It does, but it doesn't. The book was originally taking place in Florida. The book now takes place in Ohio. So completely different. But I was like, oh my gosh, I could like upload this book and get it printed out. That is so cool. I never did. I didn't do that until I printed out the first 2 proof copies of All the Way Strong. These lovely peep things, like I have these. So going back to like 2013, I didn't really know what self-publishing was. I know that in order to publish a book, you wanted to like submit it to publishers. And my thought of publishing a book was like actually submitting the book to publishers, not submitting it to agents who would then submit it to publishers. Like, I didn't really know what the process was. I still honestly don't really know what the process is. I just know you need to get an agent, and then they'll do things from there, and then like you'll need to change things about your book, and you kind of have to like essentially sign away the rights to it, which terrifies me. So I personally still don't quite know the ins and outs of traditional publishing, but I do know most of the ins and outs of indie publishing. And the reason that I know so much about indie publishing is because of AuthorTube. There are so many indie authors who are sharing their journeys and giving you inside information about how to indie publish your book, how to market your book, how to, you know, get your book to a stage where it's ready to be published. There are so many amazing indie authors who are sharing their knowledge, and it has been so helpful to me. There's been a couple people I've reached out to like with quick questions. I'm like, hey, help. And they help, and it's so wonderful. And I didn't really find out much about indie publishing until like when I was in college. So 4 years after I had written the first draft of my book, and then it was still like another like 2 or 3 years before I really knew about indie publishing. But once I knew, I was like, this is what I want to do. I will have creative control over my book. I will have the final say of how the interior looks. I will have final say on the cover. I will have final say on like literally everything. which I want. I want the control. I literally decided to not format my print book in Atticus because I needed the control that Word gave me. Like, I needed all of the control. So once I had like dived into the AuthorTube community, once I had started making videos and like watching more videos about all of this, I was just like all in. I was like, this is what I want to do. I think my original goal was to publish a book before I left college. That didn't happen. And then my goal was to publish a book in like December of 2021. That's nowhere near happening because I didn't even finish the first draft of that book that I wanted to publish. And I now have ideas of how to make that book so much better. Like I have a great idea for that book and I'm really excited to see if I can ever like make it what I want it to be. But I didn't hit that goal either. And then so my next goal was to, you know, take this first book that I ever wrote, The Start of Everything New originally, and publish it and have it be my first book that I will publish because it was the furthest along in the process and it was the furthest and it was the book that I felt most comfortable with the story and the plot and the characters, and I created this. Sure, it took like 9 years, 4 of which I didn't actually actively work on the book, but I created this. That's crazy. And what I write is mostly young adult or new adult contemporary novels. It's not a contemporary romance, it's not fantasy, it's not sci-fi, it's not thriller, it's not crime, it's not any like major category. It's young adult contemporary. And take that as you will, but it's what I really enjoy reading. It's what I really, really enjoy writing. I love getting into like my characters' minds and into their life, figuring out what's going on with them. It is one of the best things that I have ever written, and I would not change what I am writing for the world. I made a whole video about why I'm not writing romance specifically, and I will link that video over there. So go give that a check out if you want to. But basically, you know, it's really not what I grew up reading. I think, you know, as like children, we don't read romances like when we're like 5 or 6. So I never like grew up reading romance, and I never really got into the whole romance subplot of other books. I enjoyed them for like, I don't want to say the actual plot because the romance is an actual plot. But you know, like that's not, I don't know, it's just, it never called out to me. That being said, yes, I write young adult and new adult, and maybe there might be some adult contemporary novels. But there are also some romance ideas that I have that I would love, love, love to write. So I'm not swearing off writing romance forever, but for right now, it's not what I'm doing. And why is that important? Here's the thing. The way I see it is that if I would traditionally publish this book, there would have to be a subplot of romance in it because that's what people want. That's what people are expecting in most books. They want that subplot of romance, if not the main plot of romance. And especially with All the Way Strong, especially with Project A, which still doesn't have a name, those are not the main aspects of the story. Yes, there are 2 characters in All the Way Strong that I see getting together down the line after the book ends. Like, I know what happens to all my characters after their book ends, but it's not in the book. And I feel like if I went the traditional route, that would be something that, you know, people were looking for in the book. And that wasn't something that I felt comfortable putting in it. And I didn't want anyone to pressure me into putting things into my book or taking things out of my book that I wanted to either keep in or take out. Yes, I didn't want people pressuring me into taking things out that I wanted to keep in. I didn't want them pressuring me to put things in the book that I didn't want to put in the book. That's what I meant to say. At the end of the day, I want the creative control of this book. Like, all of it. I don't want to sign the book away to somebody else. I don't want any of that type of stuff. I want the book to be fully me with, you know, feedback from beta readers and editors and all of that. But I want the book to be fully what I want it to be. And right now, this book is exactly what I want it to be. Like, it is exactly what I want it to be. And the first draft of this book is so completely different to what this draft is. I would love to make a video, maybe in like a month or 2, about the differences between the first draft of what I remember of this book, because I don't actually have the first draft anymore. But I would love to see the differences between the first draft and the final draft. Like, I would love, love, love to see just how much the book has changed. And I'd love to share that with you guys as well. So creative control is honestly the big thing. You know, deciding what the cover gets to be, deciding the name of the book, deciding the blurb, deciding all of this stuff. Like, that's, I want creative control over all of it. And with indie publishing, I get that. And that was honestly the big selling factor for me to indie publish my books, is having the control, doing it on my own timeline. Like, I can't mass produce books. I know a lot of indie authors fast release series or fast release their books. I can't do that. I want to work on my own timeline. I don't want to be like forced up against another person's timeline. And with traditional publishing, I feel like, you know, you're given a timeline and you have to meet it. And I'm currently working another full-time job. Like, writing is a full-time job, and then I have another full-time job that's 9 to 5. I was able to hit most, if not all, of my deadlines for this book that I like self-imposed for myself. Self-imposed for myself, yeah, that makes sense. I was able to hit all the deadlines that I had made for myself for this book. But the thing is, if it doesn't get done right on the deadline, I can give myself a day or two's leniency. I can, you know, push things back if things in the book really need to change. I have that control to play around with like the release date, when I send it to betas, all of these things. I have control over when all this happens. So like my current goal for Project A is to publish it in November of this year, which is really exciting. But the thing is, if I give it to my beta readers in like a week or two and they're like, no, a lot of things need to change, then I'll have the time to do it. I can always push back my November release until December or even January if need be. I would like it to be out in November. I have the time, but if things have to change, I can change them. I'm not like set in stone for like one date. And another big thing with self-publishing is that you get to decide when your book comes out. If it's ready now, you can say, well, I'm going to publish it in a couple months when I'm ready to do marketing. Or if you're super ready to publish a book, you can just hit publish on Amazon and it is set to go, you know, after they process it and everything. But the biggest thing with traditionally publishing for me is that it would take so much time to get my first book out there and even books down the road. So I would have this book written and I would be in love with the characters and in love with the story, and then I would submit it to agents. So that takes a while. And then I would have to, you know, be accepted by an agent, and that would take a while. And then it would have to be submitted to publishing houses, I think. I honestly don't know the process. Don't quote me on traditional publishing stuff. I don't know it. So it might take like 2 to 3 years to get your book on a shelf. And like right now, my big thing isn't seeing my book in stores. Would that be cool? Yes. But that's not my current goal. My current goal was to get my story out there. Not my story, but like my character's story. I want to get my character's story out there for you all to read. And this book has taken a while, but it did it. And I did it with the support of friends and family. I did it with the help of my amazing beta readers. I did it with the help of my sensitivity reader. I did it with the help of my proofreader and my editors and my cover designer. Like, this was a team effort, and I am so happy with how this book turned out. And I'm so excited for you guys all to read it on Wednesday. So don't forget, you can pre-order the ebook over on Amazon. You should be able to buy a paperback on Amazon if you want to. Hopefully, I know it works on the American site. I just don't know about the other country sites. If you are in the US, you can also order a signed paperback. I believe I have 7 left in stock that will be sent out hopefully sometime this week. As soon as I get the books, I will sign them and send them out to you guys. And I'll keep you updated on that as well. I'm planning on sending out an email to everyone who has pre-ordered a signed copy, just letting them know, hey, here's what's going on. So all of this is super exciting. I have a video coming every single day this week to celebrate release week, which is, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. So I'm Celeste Joan, the indie author of All the Way Strong, and it has been so amazing to share this journey with you guys, and I can't wait to keep you guys updated on this book and what comes next. So thank you guys all so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and I will see you guys all hopefully tomorrow. Bye!